Last week I showed you which teams dominated my 100 World Cup simulations in Football Manager, but in today's video it is time to look at some very interesting player results. And for those of you who are familiar with Football Manager, you are probably thinking that Monsieur Mbappé will win it all, right?
Bonjour.
Well, guess again, man, and if you want to see who did, stay with me, because here we go. 100 World Cup simulations, that's a lot of data, I can promise you that, but I managed to gather it all and put it into an Excel file, and that is how today's results came to be. Now I'm gonna try and not to give away too many spoilers about last week's video, but just so you know, some of these results may kind of point you into a certain direction. Don't say I didn't warn you. By the way, if you want to do a similar experiment, there is a link to Mozza's Steam workshop item. It's really easy to set up and to use, so a big shout out once again to Mozza. Now let's kick things off with the ultimate assist king in the entire experiment. Honorable mentions go out to two Man City players because my fellow Belgian Kevin De Bruyne only won the award on one tournament out of 100. I mean, come on, Football Manager, don't be like that. And England's Raheem Sterling also only won 3, which I kind of expected to be higher. And the overall top 3 is actually a top 5 with a couple of surprises in there. In joint third place, we have Phil Foden from England, of course, and there he is, Kylian Mbappé, who both managed to take the award home in 10 tournaments. Tied for second place, Valencia's captain and left wingback Jose Gaya from Spain, obviously, and Poland's central midfielder Sebastian Szymanski, probably butchered that. They both won 11 awards. And the top spot, the ultimate assist king after 100 simulations, goes to Mexico's, surprise, Jesus Corona. He claims his assist throne with just one more award than the second placed guys, 12. Next up we have the best goalkeeper. First of all, the best goalkeeper in the world, I said it, my Belgian homie Thibaut Courtois only won the award in 5 out of 100 tournaments, which is insanely low, but hey, Football Manager is always right. Right? And to be honest, no real use here on going over a top 5 or whatever because it's not complicated. There are two goalkeepers who absolutely annihilated the competition, miles ahead of the pack, with 22 awards each. Hugo Lloris from France and England's Aaron Ramsdale. Hold up, I honestly still thought that Henderson or what's-his-face, Pickford, would be the English #1, but I guess the joke's on me. Let me know down in the comments, man, because I was actually quite surprised by this. Now let's move on to the next award competition, and this was basically a one-man show. The overall best young player of the tournament, Eduardo Camavinga, did not make the top 5. In fact, he only won the award once. And I know he still has a lot of competition in that French midfield, so I am sure his time will come. But the guys who did make it into the top 5, and this is an interesting list. In 5th place, we have South Korean attacking midfielder Kang-in Lee. He won the Best Young Player award in 8 tournaments, and since South Korea as a team didn't do well at all, this is quite impressive. In joint third place, we have USA's Giovanni Reina from Dortmund, of course, and Spain's Ansu Fati. They both took home the award in 13 World Cups. In second place, another Spaniard, Pedri. And I guess this is the first and maybe even only player I personally would have expected in this list. But he did not win it. He collected 19 awards, but that is less than half of the man in first place, the ultimate best young player in my experiment, Josko Gvardiol. Defender for Leipzig and Croatia, of course, slaughtered the competition because he took home the award on 39 World Cups. By far the biggest difference in any of these little competitions. I knew he was one of the brighter talents in Football Manager, but I did not see this coming, man. So bottom line, get that man on your shortlist now. 2 awards left, but first I want you guys to do me a favor, pause the video and comment down below on who you think is absolutely going to shine in Qatar. Come on, surprise me. Now before we have a look at the top goal scorer, obviously, we are going to have the best player award first. Now as you probably know, after each tournament, including a World Cup, there's always a top 3, right? And most of the time it's pretty darn close. So I decided for all 100 simulations to simply give all 3 of those players 1 point, and this is how these results came to be. Are you ready for the bottom 5 of my top 10? Here we go. And we can already see some of the top names in world football because we have Lewandowski, Neymar, Raheem Sterling, Mexico's Jimenez, this might be a surprise, and Mr. CR7 himself. And then in 5th place, Cristiano Ronaldo's BFF/nemesis, Lionel Messi. He made it to the top 3 of best players 17 times, but spoiler alert, we won't be seeing him again in this video. In 4th place, we find England's Phil Foden. 19 top 3 classifications. Good on you, Phil. The bronze medal goes to my Belgian friend Romelu Lukaku. Say what you will about him in real life. In Football Manager, he is still a massive beast. He totally nailed it with 20 appearances in the top 3. In 2nd place, we find another English player, Mr. Harry Kane. He was in the player top 3 29 times, so there is quite a gap between him and the rest of the pack. But speaking of gaps, oof. And I know I said in the intro that Mbappe wasn't gonna win it all, but he took this home. Overall, best player at the World Cup with a baffling 41 appearances in the top 3. So that's basically what, almost half of the time? Absolute madness. And while it is getting quite hot in here, literally, we have arrived at the grand finale, the top goal scorer award. Now, I thought it would be interesting to first have a look at the current real-life betting odds. And as you can see, a lot of usual suspects are popping up in there, but do the results of my experiment also reflect that? Let's have a look. At number 5, yes, sorry Bob, here he is again. Mbappe only won the top goal scorer award 6 out of 100 times. And to be brutally honest, I kind of expected him to absolutely dominate this competition. Because, you know, it's Football Manager. And in my defense, the betting odds also kind of seem to suggest that. But he didn't because 4 guys did better. At number 4, we have a similar situation. He is first in the betting odds, but in my experiment, Harry Kane finishes in 4th position with 7 top goal scorer wins. Also less than I expected. One thing to mention though is that Harry Kane did have the record of most goals scored in the entire experiment with 13 in one single World Cup. So by now I do think you guys have a couple of potential winners in the back of your head. Well, I can pretty much guarantee that you are wrong. In 3rd place, so his 2nd bronze medal in this video, 16-1 in the real life betting odds, the beast from Belgium, Romelu Lukaku. For 19 freaking times, he was crowned the top goal scorer. So the gap with Kane and Mbappe is 100% nuts if you ask me. The silver medal for this award goes to, in my opinion, still one of the most underrated strikers of all time. And he was not mentioned in the betting odds as well. Polish superstar Robert Lewandowski. He won the top goal scorer award in 21 World Cups, scored a massive amount of goals, and this also kind of explains why his teammate Szymanski scored so high in the assist king list, right? And although I would have loved Lewandowski to win it all, one guy did better. Crowned the top goal scorer for 24 times, so basically a quarter of all 100 simulations, Mexican luchador Raúl Jiménez. I told you would be wrong, didn't I? Just to be clear, I also did not expect this. I saw the results unfold as I collected the data, and I was like, biggest surprise of the entire experiment right here, man. In next week's video, I'll go over some legends in world football who are probably at their last World Cup. But if you have not seen the mind-blowing team results in last week's video, check it out.